What's up? What's up? What's up, co-reporters? Welcome back to my channel. Do y'all remember how Kail and Vee famously fell out and decided to stop collaborating on their Baby Mama's No Drama podcast and just shut it all down? The final episode was scathing on Kail's side, just dragging Vee in every way, shape, and form. And then she went on to her other podcasts, like the Coffee Convos podcast, the New Best Friend or whatever podcast that she hosts with Becky, to low-key call Vee a user, a deadbeat stepmom, all sorts of things, while Vee kept her composure and didn't like roll around in the mud with Kail. Well, Vee is back. Okay. She did an interview with InTouch magazine to let us know what she has in store for the future. And I thought I'd share some tidbits with you guys. Last we heard from her, she was saying in the send-off episode of Baby Mamas that she was going to be launching some sort of podcast. It was called Chisme something. I don't know if it was Chisme Corner or Chisme, gossip. I don't know. But she said she wanted to talk pop culture and just live gossip and whatever, and kind of leave it a little bit open-ended. And let's see, you guys, if that is still the plan for her. So FYI, once again, this was an interview that she did with InTouch magazine to talk about what exactly it is that she sees for herself moving forward now that she is no longer under Kail's thumb. She said, and I quote, when it comes to like podcasts or anything like that, I am not replacing anything. I do want to start a little like solo project. It's not really going to be necessarily like a podcast, at least not at the moment. I don't think so anyway, but it is something that I'm really excited about. It's kind of me going into my own solo direction. Where does Vee's confidence to go on, move forward, and podcast or to host something solo come from, you might ask? Because when she was podcasting, she always had a co-host, whether it was Kail on Baby Mamas or her friend on Thriving, Vibing, and Kind of Thriving. Well, Vee says, listen, sometimes when I was hosting these shows, I had to do solo episodes as well. And that is why, and you know what, let me go ahead and do the direct quote. I think people really took on to that and they really liked it and enjoyed it. So that gave me the push to want to do something solo. And it's just very motivational, like very much. I'm someone, I just like to lift women up, and I like to talk about the things that sometimes I feel like we might feel like it's hard to talk about, but like, oh girl, thesaurus. As moms and as women in business, the things like that, and just like the hard, raw things I want to talk about, and just being real and being able to connect with people like that. I'm sorry, but it's giving for a word salad. My girl, listen, while you work on your solo aspirations, I think it would do you well to perhaps, broaden the vocabulary a little bit. The amount of time she says like was very Kardashian-esque, but you know what? Whatever. I can't say that I like Vee, to be honest with you guys. I think it was great to hear her perspective on the co-parenting with Kail and everything like that, but I had lost a lot of respect for her just based off of how long she was able to even do that podcast with Kail, as Kail sat in her face and took the piss out of her husband. Kail would constantly be dissing Joe, like basically saying that he's trash in bed and talking about how difficult it is to co-parent with him, and just finding all these different ways to throw shade at him in Vee's face. And there was also the text messages that leaked that showed that Kail would talk really, really, really terribly about Joe behind his back. She was saying things along the lines of, how can Vee even get it? And this is so vulgar to even say, I'm sorry, but this is the vulgarity that she used in the text messages. She said, I don't understand how Vee can even get it wet for him. He is hideous, which is just such a terrible thing to say about someone who is the father of your child. And y'all know I read her down in that video because really, girl, really, don't start. You guys can go ahead and find that old video if you want to know what I had to say about her comments, because, and listen, this is a new year. I am trying to go as long as possible without saying anything mean. So I will just leave it there. But yeah, I always found it to be very odd on Vee's part, because I understand her wanting to maintain a nice, respectful relationship with Kail as her stepson's mother, but the things that she allowed and never confronted on their podcast and just continued to podcast as if they never happened and whatnot. You know what I would have done if I were Vee? I would have demanded a public apology on that podcast once those text messages leaked. We would have been addressing this, talking about how Kail had to come and kiss my pinky toes, one per foot, and say sorry, right? On that podcasting screen. Maybe bring my man and then have her apologize to him. That's probably just an exaggeration there, but I feel like something else could have been done there. I was like, girl, come on, puff up your chest a little bit. But anyway, listen, Vee, good luck on what you've got going on in the future. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think that people just like her compared to Kail. I don't think that people really, I'm going to be honest, I don't think that people really care too much about her outside of Kail. Yes, she's got the Instagram page and stuff like that, because it takes 2 seconds to look at photos on Instagram and like them, but to really invest in listening, especially for an hour plus at a time, I just don't see it for her. In fact, she already has that other podcast called Vibing, and I don't think it makes her money like that. I don't think it gets the views, the listens like that. Definitely not the way that Baby Mamas does. And that already is a testament. Before y'all come in the comments saying, no, we like Vee, we care about Vee, then where are the ratings for her other podcast that she does outside of Kail, And then let's wait and see what the ratings are like for this new solo project that she is about to launch. I think that initially she's going to get some good numbers, but I just don't see her being able to keep them up on her own if she's just talking about her own life or whatever. Maybe if she talks about lifestyle stuff or whatever, maybe she'll do better, but I'm not sure. Even YouTube, she's got a YouTube channel. I don't know that it's all that popular. In fact, why don't I go ahead and pull it up to try and find out. What is it called? Vee Me or something like that. Vee Rivera is what I will search to try and find her channel. So yeah, she's had this YouTube channel for several years now, and it's only got 12,000 followers. Okay, so y'all don't come in here trying to rewrite history, trying to gaslight me, tell me you care about this girl and you're interested in what she's got going on, because the numbers don't lie. The numbers are telling me that that's not true. And I feel like that's perfectly understandable. I'm the same way. I only found her interesting on Baby Mamas because that show was going to give us the gossip, the scoop on what's really going on behind the scenes ever since Kail left Teen Mom 2, and that was a podcast where she would spill the most tea about her messy co-parenting situation. And yeah. And I feel like that's okay to say. It doesn't mean we dislike her or anything like that. It's just, it made a lot of sense. This team, this project that they had together made a lot of sense. But Vee on her own, sorry, I can't say that I'm going to go ahead and set aside an hour of my time per week to listen to what she's got going on. I'm already suffering through Kail's podcast, which I don't listen to for my own pleasure. I listen to it, because I got a job to do, for you guys. Then there's other things that I enjoy listening to in my spare time. Like I like listening to Kempire's podcast. I like listening to Nicole Byer's podcast. And there's some other podcasts that I enjoy listening to as well. And that's about it. But I digress. Let me know, you guys. And be honest. It's not hating to say you're not interested, okay? Are you going to be tuning into whatever he's got going on? Let me know why or why not in the comment section down below. And as usual, we will chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.